Hey, this is Maginoni, and here is the other books I read that were non-Marvel event books. We have Jupiter's Legacy, Avengers, and Spider-Man. Now, I have to admit, Jupiter's Legacy, that is the... Well, okay, this and Spider-Man were my two favorite books of the week. Uh, we're finally back to the present, in that, if you remember, you... Well, for those of you who would have forgotten, because it's been a while, uh, the kids of the original heroes basically staged the coup, killed all the heroes, and they basically forged their own world, basically. Now, we had the one superhero who survived, her boyfriend, and her kid. And what they're doing now is they're running around and they are um, basically recruiting villains. And they're going to be mounting a counterattack pretty soon. So all this issue is just basically them getting their army together, and this was just, for me, it was fresh. It's, it was interesting. It was moving. The things seemed to be moving from place to place, and I really enjoyed it. And it was starting to build up to something where I'm actually going to really, at least from my impression of it, was building into something that I want to read more of. The art was Quietly's art was fantastic. I, it's, to me, it seemed like an improvement over what it's been in the past, and I'm 100% pleased with this issue. I can't wait to see the next issue, especially the way this thing ends. I really, really want to see what that next fight is going to be like. So, great issue. All right, Avengers. Well, I mean, this is your typical Avengers get captured, Avengers, figure out a counterattack, and then they fight their way back. And oops, we throw a little loophole, so this way it's not a clean getaway. So this way we're drawn back into the story to make the story mean a little bit more, so to speak. Overall, the battle with the Nihilists was just okay. It wasn't what I would have hoped for, especially when you have Thor in the mix. It was over pretty quick, but it was decent. I mean, there's only so much you can do with three kid superheroes, I guess you can say. Like, what's Miss Marvel going to really contribute against a nihilist? Maybe Miss Marvel 10 years from now, but Miss Marvel now, it's like, her options are pretty limited. So, I mean, it was a decent read overall. Nothing to make me do cartwheels over, though. Spider-Man. This was a great book. Art was good. Writing was good. There is a little dig on Rebirth, but I'm like going, okay, if you mean this as, okay, friendly, I'm sure it was just a friendly poke. But at the same time, I'm going, it's hard to poke at a book that completely destroyed you in sales. But whatever. I mean, as I'm sure they had fun with it at the office, so to speak. Basically, we have a couple things going on here. We have Miles' friends at school are finding out that he's been beaten and captured by supervillains. We have his mom and his grandmother freaking out, and his grandmother's hiring a private detective because she believes her son's on drugs, which it's lucky for Miles she hired who she did, because that's the one person who probably will protect Miles' secret and just confirm that he's not doing drugs. The fight was deep. I really enjoyed the fight between Miles and Hammerhead. That was really good. Miles really stepped it up. And finally, there's something big going on with Miles' father, which I'll leave that alone. But overall, like I said, I was really, really pleased. The art's just solid, and this is one of those. I mean, I hate to say it, but I like this more than Amazing Spider-Man. It's just that much better. It's a fresher take on the character. Miles is more interesting right now than Peter Parker is, and it's also interesting to see how he's interacting with the other villains. It's basically they're like, well, we can't really do anything to the older Spider-Man, but he's wearing the costume, so we're going to take him out. And he's exhibiting powers and abilities that they're not used to. So the way they handle this hero is a lot different. The way they would think we need to this is the way we need to plan, but Miles is able to, in a sense, outsmart them because he does different things that they won't expect. So overall, great read. I really enjoy it. Highly recommend this book, especially if you're kind of not feeling the Amazing Spider-Man. This is the one to read. Anyways, that's some reviews for you today. Let me know what you guys picked up, what you're excited to read the most. We'll have more reviews later. Like, share, and until next time.